Beaufort Lake State Campground is located in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, just outside of three lakes on the north end of Beaufort Lake on Beaufort Lake Road. This is a fairly small campground with only 7 campsites available to choose from, and I'm going to walk through the campground and give you a quick look at all 7 of the campsites. This will be easy to do because the 7 campsites are arranged in a straight line right across the north end of the lake with only one drive. We'll walk up into this actual campsite here and take a look. They're all pretty much the same. There's a grass pad, there's a decent picnic table, and there's an updated fire ring. For the most part, these campsites don't offer much for shade, but it is nice to have the grass pad if you're trying to tent camp. It's a little bit softer. None of the campsites offer amazing access to the lake itself, but there are a couple of the campsites that have a small little walking path that is right behind the camping space, just enough to go in and get your feet wet or maybe walk the edge of the sandy beach. I'm just going to walk along the road here and we're going to take a quick look at all of the campsites. Like I said, they're all about the same, one right after another in a line here. So this won't be very hard, and there's not much variance, so it doesn't really matter what campsite you get unless you want campsite number 1 or number 7, so you're on the end of the campground. Either way, campsite number 1 is right by the boat launch that we'll look at later, and campsite number 7 is right by the small recreation-swimming area, and we'll also look at that at the end of the campground. Here is the pay station that is halfway in the middle of the campground between sites 1 and 7. It does cost $20 a night to stay here. It is hand pump water here at the gas station with that well right there. And what's crazy is we have like brand new looking outhouses. There's 2 of them here, so I'm going to pop in one real quick. They have absolutely no smell to them, and the way they look, they shouldn't. A little concerned about that plexiglass window. You can actually see out that plexiglass window just a little bit, but you cannot see in it enough to have any concern. Although that's pretty weird. I've never seen that in any campground before where you have a plexiglass window. Now turning over to the recreation area, if that's what you want to call it. It's more of a swimming beach with a small area of grass there where you could lay out a blanket and have a picnic or something. There's no picnic tables or fire pits or anything like that at this space. It's just a nice small sandy beach area, just big enough for a couple kids to play there. But then the actual sand in the water, it spans right around the front half of this lake, and it goes past all of the campsites. There's actually somebody over there wading in the water and swimming with their dog from campsite to campsite. So it is a nice sandy area to swim. The lake is plenty warm. If you're traveling up this way to do fishing, there is a nice boat launch here at the opposite end of the campground. We almost put our boat in here since we were staying in the area with our boat because we heard this is a pretty decent bass and pike fishing lake, but we decided to stay at Lake Michigami where we already were and not take our boat out of the lake. You can see there's no actual dock, so when I say a nice boat launch, it's at least a boat launch area. It's paved right up to the edge of the water, and then it's all sand underneath. But that's more than what a lot of the lakes have up here. Most of the lakes up in this area are canoe or kayak and don't have actual boat launches. And there's not much space for actually parking your boat and trailer. Overall, this is a nice little campground, and I would definitely consider it.